Hello, my beautiful Virgo Nation. My name is Wow. I'll be doing an intuitive reading for you guys today. I won't be doing a traditional tarot read. The deck I'll be using is the Chakra Insight Oracle. It's a deck by Karen Sangster with artwork by Amy Edwards. It's a really awesome deck, so if you're looking to get something new or maybe add to ones that you already have, it's a wonderful addition, I believe, with some very clear and extremely helpful messages contained within. This kind of spread that I'll be using is not a traditional one. It's called it's one that I created myself. It's called the Alchemist Pyramid. If anybody has any questions about it, I can send you a picture or something if given the right information, or if anybody can assist me with maybe adding it to the comments or adding it to the description, if that's possible. Without further ado, I hope everybody's able to find something to latch onto in this. I mean, not everything is going to be for everyone, so if it speaks to you, by all means, run with it. But if it doesn't, then leave it right where it's at, okay? You're the only one who can pretty much divine exactly how much something speaks to you. And yeah, all my Virgos out there, you guys are doing pretty good. I haven't really been hearing too much or catching too many ripples in the Virgo ocean about strife and struggle. Hopefully all of you are doing just as magnificent as my mind seems to think you are. But I think a lot of you are in good shape. So let's see if we can just, maybe sharpen some of those edges and give you some helpful tools. All right. What do we have for our beautiful Virgos? And you are beautiful. Every single one of you. I love Virgos. My daughter's a Virgo, so yeah, it's a pleasure to have one in your life if you do. And if you don't, hopefully you get this. All right. So this is where a lot of you beautiful Virgos are at currently. This is the chakra that you're at right now, trying to master, is your third eye chakra. Hopefully. But the third eye chakra is kind of tricky. It's that quiet voice that's in the back of your head that tells you, no, don't stick your hand in that fire. Don't stand in front of that bus. But sometimes that voice is hard to hear with all the noise going on inside of here. And, we have probably some of the worst vision on the planet. Like human beings, our eyesight is very poor compared to other animals and creatures on this planet. But our third eye, that thing is flawless. That it sees what happens before it's happened. That's why it's able to warn you about what's going to happen, because it already knows what's going to happen and what will happen if you stick around, or if you don't remove yourself from that toxic situation, or from that situation that maybe just isn't the right thing for you at that time. So start trying to listen to that intuition, those gut feelings, those gut instincts, because 9 times out of 10, that's the universe whispering to you exactly what you should be doing or considering at that moment. So listen to it. Your third eye is one of your most powerful tools in your armory. It's something that nobody else can take from you. They can block it. They can put it, like somebody can put their hands over my eyes and I can't see. But they can put that hand over my eyes and I can remove it. So be mindful of things around you that might be blocking your third eye if you're having trouble. If you feel like you just can't seem to hear that inner voice, then get yourself into a very quiet place where there's nothing else to hear but that voice. That's what meditation is. Prayer is a conversation. Meditation is listening. Pure listening. You're not trying to speak because you're trying to hear everything that's trying to be told to you. That is one of the most powerful things you can use to help you master your third eye chakra, is stilling yourself, finding that inner calm, that place that you can go to, that happy place that you can go to in your head that nobody else can disturb. It's a place you created. It's a place that only you can access. And once you find that place, Your front row, sitting with your third eye, listening to everything that they have to say to you. And it sounds like your voice, so you probably trick your brain, like, is that me? Yes, it's you speaking, but it's also your higher self speaking to you. So be mindful of that, and try to put yourself around things that stimulate that pursuit. If you're going forward, make sure that you have things around you that are challenging your third eye to step up, and challenge yourself. You know, try to say, hey, yeah, I think such and such, but let me think around what is right here in front of me, and try to take it a little bit deeper, or take it a step further, you know. But let's go into our next card. So you guys are trying to work on your third eye, and that's a beautiful thing. This is going to assist you. I don't know if you can see it. I know there's a glare, and I apologize. But inspiration is what this card is. And I can tell you, when I'm inspired, I'm firing on all pins. There is nothing that can deter me. There is not a wave that can crash against me. It can only flow. When I'm inspired, forget about it. It's already done. Whatever I'm trying to accomplish, it's already done. I've already finished it. And the part of that inspiration, the thing that fuels inspiration is passion. Is actually wanting the best result. Come hell or high water. Doesn't matter if you have to lose anything. It doesn't matter what you lose to get that result. You're willing to do anything. That's what inspiration is. So get inspired. Find things in your life that you can latch on to, that ground you, that identify you with this planet, that plant you into the ground and turn you into a growing, prosperous tree, be it poetry or soccer or arranging sunflower seeds, whatever it is that you inspires you and makes you feel like you're creating something new, something you're transmuting, you're turning something into something that it wasn't when you got a hold of it, or when it came into your life or your reality. That's alchemy. You're transmuting something, turning something that wasn't there before into something, or something that was there before into something else completely new. So get inspired. Start trying to find things that you can relate to, things that make you feel that warm, tingly sensation like you got when you were a kid and you were going to the circus. You know, find things like that bring that spark, that drive, that just goes, I gotta get this done because it makes me feel so good. Get inspired. And this is what will assist you as well. That glare is going to be a bane of our existence, isn't it? But this says personal boundaries. And if you can see that card, I know it's a little bit blurry, but she's standing in front of a wall that she built. The wall's got a incredible breach in it. It's not very secure. But she's realizing that she's been keeping things in that needed to get out, and blocking things that were trying to come in, and allowing things to come in that she didn't want in. That's a major thing about setting personal boundaries, is what you're willing to put up with. I tell a lot of my friends, especially with relationships and the people that they're intimate with, whenever they're having arguments, hey, you know how much you're willing to put up with. So it's setting those personal boundaries, saying, you know what, I really care about you, but if you ever do that again, then we're done. You've disregarded every single bit of that care. Set those boundaries. You don't have to set them harshly. You don't have to make yourself an impenetrable prison and make yourself into a prison. That's not a good idea. But yeah, you set up your walls, but always make sure that there's windows. Make sure that there's, a way to see outside of your protections, instead of just relying on your protections to see and do everything for you. I know that's a tricky one. That's a real tricky one. Personal boundaries are really weird. Like, you can set them up too high and nobody can get in, and that's not healthy. Or you can set them too low and everything can get in, and that's not healthy either. So it's about finding that balance. Can you see over the fence? That's enough. All right. Let's go on to our next. This is going to assist you with your intuition. Responsibility. I'm starting to like this card a lot. If you look at that picture, she's holding a plant. And the plant is thriving. But if those hands drop the plant is destroyed or not doing as well as it was before. But that's not the plant's fault. That's the hand's fault. So yeah, you can be like, I dropped that plant, but that plant should have been prepared for the drop. But that's not right. You were holding the plant. You were securing it. You were giving it the confidence to be a plant. And then you dropped it. Take responsibility for that. Even if it hurts, even if it embarrasses you, even if it brings you to a place to where you have to stand in front of a million people and say, I was wrong. Follow that path, because that's going to build more armor than you being a dipshit and saying, not my responsibility. Not my bad. I'm not a role model. Yeah, sure. You don't have to do these things, but that's a bit of a selfish attitude to have, and I can guarantee you that the universe does not appreciate anybody's selfish ass. God, spirit, higher, whatever you call that energy, the Big Bang, whatever you call it, it does not appreciate you being a selfish dipshit. Excuse my language. So take responsibility for your actions. You can't master any of the chakras without taking responsibility for them. And if you're trying to master any of them, you have to start at the bottom. If you try to start anywhere up here, you're going to cause discord for yourself. You're going to make your path a lot harder to walk because you're trying to do advanced techniques in a beginner class. All right? Without training. So take responsibility for your actions. It also brings a sense of even though you might be in the moment admitting to something that brings you down a little bit, you're building yourself up by taking command and charge of it and saying, yes, I could have handled that better. Or even if this isn't my fault, I could have done certain things better to assist with it or avoid it completely. Or just, being able to admit that maybe you're not 100% awesome. Maybe you do have a fall from grace every once in a while. Maybe you are a bit of a recluse or whatever. Being able to admit these things to yourself is going to lay the tracks for you to walk your spiritual path. It's going to clear the trees out of the way so you don't have to worry about branches falling on you. Take responsibility for yourself and your actions, and for anybody else around you that you care enough to do it. And don't half-ass it. Go 100%. A lot of people will extol that they're your friend, but they only partially mean that. They're not going to be there for you through thick and thin, only through the thin. That's not what it's about. That's being a selfish dipshit. Language again, pardon me. But we'll move on to the next one. This is also going to assist you in your spiritual path, but that's dreams. Our dreams are I don't think all of them are messages. Some of them are just, kind of mundane. But I think I think there's something to those as well. But pay attention to your dreams. A lot of information is given in them. When we sleep, we're at our most vulnerable. Anything can happen to you when you're asleep. But that's also our most vulnerable time. That's when all of our shields are down. The universe can speak to us in any language, and we can understand that language, because when we're in the dream time, we're our higher self. We're our perfect self. Any flaws that you may have in a dream are restrictions that are placed on you in that dream for a reason, probably. But pay attention to them. Try to write them down if you can remember them. Before you go to sleep, tell yourself, I want to remember my dream. And that can assist you with trying to remember them if you forget them immediately as soon as you wake up. But that's going to feed into your inspiration, is not only paying attention to the dreams within, but also the dreams without. The things that you want to do, your daydreams, your wakeful moments of disillusionment, or not disillusionment, but your wakeful moments of dreams, dream time, daydreaming. Be mindful of those, because a lot of times there's a hidden message, or sometimes the message is very blunt. Like, there is nothing hidden about it. It's here you go. Do with it what you will. But pay attention to that, because a lot of times that's your spirit guides, that's your higher self, that's whatever you call that energy that takes care of us all, trying to pass along a message, or just to build you up, to download you, to reprogram what's there. So be mindful of what you're seeing in your dreams, and be mindful of what your dreams are if you're chasing some. Because not all dreams are high vibe, wonderful things for you to pursue or do. So be careful, okay? And this will assist you in your thoughts and thinking. Think about being, I don't know if you can see that. There you go, Blair. Presence. That's what this card is, presence. Problem for me in the past was thinking too much about what could be and not really appreciating what it was around me in those moments. Or even, with conversations with some people, you can be listening to every word but not considering a single thing that they're saying. I've done it, so I know you do it. And I don't know, I'm not being accusatory, but it's just a natural human nature kind of thing to sometimes let shit go in one ear and right out the other, part of the language. But that's not being present in the now, and that's not being a good communicator. And in order to achieve good communication, speaking, you have to be a great listener, or you can't respond correctly to what's being told to you or the stimulus around you. So be present in the now and establish yourself as being present. A lot of people get around certain environments and they're afraid to open their mouth because they don't want to sound stupid. But as soon as you open your mouth, whether it's stupid or not, you let people know that you're there, that you're part of that conversation, that they should consider what you have to say, no matter how silly it is. And even if it makes them laugh, don't take it so personally. If something you said sounds stupid, roll with it. Like, damn, yeah, maybe that was kind of dumb, but I can laugh at it too. I would if somebody else said it. A lot of times people get into their own emotions and feelings about how they're being whatevered, but they don't take the time to think, well, how would I react if that was being done to me? So consider that. Be present in the now, and you'll start to see things kind of just fall into place. Don't forget to consider the future and never forget your past, but don't constantly be dwelling on it to the point of obsession, to where you are missing things that are being presented to you here now in this 3D reality. Don't miss those things, because that's the universe's gifts. And if you miss them, they might come back, but a lot of times they don't. So be careful, all right? Okay. So this is going to assist you with your third eye pursuits as well. Communication. Try to put it in a place where that glare is not so gangster. But communication. You cannot master the third eye chakra by being silent. You can stimulate it. You can activate it. But you can't master it without communicating with others in a positive way, in a high vibe way. Whenever people interact, there's an energy exchange, no matter how big or small that is. If you nod at somebody when they're walking by, energy exchange. You give somebody a hug, energy exchange. You go full fondue, energy exchange. So be mindful of that. Whenever you speak with somebody, that energy, the words that you're speaking carry an energy. And it can either be a harsh vibration or it can be a harmonical. But be mindful of that. Communicating can be tricky, but it's really not. It's considering how you would want to be spoken to and speaking like that to others. And if you're a rude asshole, then, well, there's that. Because that's, you, if every day's a sunny day, then what's a sunny day? You have to have a little bit of a storm every once in a while, but that's not going to make you a great communicator, and that's not going to build you to that third eye mastery that everyone should want to pursue. Okay? So work on communication. Be mindful of the things that you speak out into the world, because a thought is a thought. Like it still carries vibration. It still carries actual physical weight, but the spoken word is, you can't doubt that it's out there in the world now. It has a presence in the world once you speak it out loud. When you say it quietly in your mind, it's there, but it's a very controlled demolition. But when you speak out, when you open your mouth and orate, that brings the nitrous to the engine. Okay? So just be careful with how you're communicating and who you're communicating to, because energy exchange, like I said, happens no matter if you're trying to do it or not. So if you're communicating with somebody that has a low vibe, you're going to pick up on some of that, and it's going to drive a little bit of your time, however long that may be. It's going to alter you just slightly, or it could happen. It could be a major altering and change your whole perspective on certain things. So be careful about who you're communicating with, and if it sounds like something that you don't quite agree with, don't agree with it just to make that person happy. Don't agree with it just because that's what everybody else says. Say, no, this is how I feel about it. And yeah, we don't agree, but that's okay too, because I still respect you. And, we're allowed to have our opinions about things. So be mindful of how you're communicating, who you're communicating with. All right? And, wow, keeping a theme here. Your crown chakra. Some of these chakras work in tandem. There we go. Can you see that pretty good? Now, see, there's your root chakra. There's your sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, the mind or third eye chakra, and then your crown chakra. The root, sacral, solar, once you balance any one of these, you're already balancing the others. And once you balance these three, this locks into place. It's automatic almost. You can't really have these in motion without having your heart in motion as well. But once you get above there, these three are pretty much interconnected. And this is your communication, this is your third eye, and this is the universe's eye. Okay? And what you want to do is merge these two into almost like just a third eye communication crown beast. That's what you want to attempt to do when you're trying to master the throat chakra. You also want to be working on your third eye as well. And when you start to do that, your crown chakra falls into place. You don't have to do anything extra. It's just there. It falls into place. It's the way the universe was organized and built to make things kind of easy for some of us. Because, it should be. We make it tough. We make it hard. The universe does not. Once we make it hard, the universe will make it hard for us to climb out that hole. because it wants to show us so we don't do it again. But out the gate, it's not hard to align yourself and to balance these chakras out. It just takes a little bit of know-how and the drive and bravery to try to do it. Pardon my language, but to unfuck yourself is a brave thing to do, because you're basically taking yourself to town and saying, let's destroy and rebuild. Let's make something completely different. Let's transmute it. So as you progress and start making things happen with your third eye, your crown chakra is, if the throat is the root, if the throat is the root, the third eye is the plant, and your crown is the fruit that it bears. Okay? All right. There's a theme here, see? And this is what you want to keep in your thoughts. Your intuition. Dang it. Glare. All right, right there. Your intuition. Your intuition is powerful. A lot of people, they tend to think that, when you speak of intuition, you're talking about being a psychic or whatever and they might, speak unkindly of people who talk about intuition and intuiting. But it is an actual thing, and it's very powerful. It's being aware of your environment to the extent that you can almost predict things mathematically. That's your intuition. That's that gut feeling. That's your third eye whispering to you. Is your intuition. It's a quiet voice. Yeah, I guarantee all the rest of you is going to be louder than it. But once you are able to say to yourself, I hear you guys, but you in the back, you haven't raised your hand this whole time, but I know you got something to say. What do you think? It's about directly. You can even ask to directly ask yourself, what intuition? What would you do? And your intuition will whisper back to you, I would do this, but for God's sake, don't do that. It will tell you clearly, but maybe quietly, maybe calmly, maybe so casually that you're not even sure that wasn't, that it wasn't your own thought. And it is your thought, but it's a thought being passed down from your higher self. Okay, that's your intuition. Trying to develop your intuition is as simple as considering something. Once you start to consider every aspect of any event in your life, that's when your intuition starts to blossom. Okay? Be considerate with everything in your life. So keep walking this path. And this is where you're headed, my dear, lovely Virgos. Divine consciousness. We just got done speaking about that higher self. The higher self is you realizing that you're more than just this body here in the 3D realm. Once you establish that, connect to your higher self, you're connected to your higher consciousness. But once you connect that higher consciousness to the rest of the universe at large, you develop your divine consciousness. It's having the mind to say, sure, I'm a speck in this thing called the universe, but even a speck can cause trouble. Add some sand into a fine piece of machinery, and I guarantee you, no matter how much high quality product is in that high quality machine, that sand is going to tear it right the hell up. So don't tear yourself down. Don't make it seem that you're not important, because the universe sure thinks you are. I do. I'm sure there's other people that do as well. But connecting to that divine consciousness is realizing that you're a part of it, that you are it. Consciousness is part of the divine consciousness. It's about honoring and respecting that and realizing that it's there to help. Okay? Here's another power tool for you lovely Virgos out there. Self-esteem. If you look at this picture, she's having a good time. Maybe sure she's by herself in that field, but she's got those sunflowers all around her, and it looks like the sunflowers are cheering her on. And the sunlight coming from behind her actually looks like it's radiating out from her. And she's got the body movement that just says, I don't care who's looking, you're going to enjoy it. That's self-esteem. In this day and age, everybody's so focused on looking a certain way. That's why they have all those Snapchat filters. So that people don't have to look at their own face. So that they can alter their appearance to look like something different completely. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, some of them are a complete joy. Like, some of them are silly enough to justify that kind of thing. But when I see some of my beautiful friends, and all they seem to do now is take Snapchat pictures and modify themselves with bunny ears and little cute things that it's like, yo, you don't need that. You're beautiful enough on your own. You all you're doing is blocking your beauty. You're shutting it down so that you can be a cartoon character for a while. Take yourself seriously. Take your own inner beauty seriously and nurture that. A garden doesn't grow without somebody to tend to it. A house doesn't get cleaned without somebody there to sweep it up. And for a lot of us, that person is you. So just be mindful of how you're treating yourself, how you're speaking about yourself, how you let others speak to you or about you. Build yourself up. I guess I like to tell people, even if you don't believe it, take your walk. As soon as you wake up, brush your teeth, even if you got that toothbrush in your mouth and it's not even clear English, tell yourself, I think you look great today, and I love you. I love you so much. Tell yourself that you look great, and I love you. And it'll start to make changes for you. It'll start to develop you. Okay? And this right here is your ultimate outcome. Action. Part of moving around in this world is aggressive action. Like, even if it's a slow movement, that's still it's more aggressive than sitting still. Okay. But whenever you start to move around, you want to have the discipline about you to make sure that your moves are either building you or someone else. If the actions that you take only cause pain and despair, there's going to be no movement. Nobody can go anywhere because somebody keeps popping the tires. So be mindful of your actions. Be mindful of your movements in this world, or how you go about your business. Be aware of your motivations, the things that are inspiring you. Because sometimes people have the worst inspiration. I want to be a gynecologist for, that people have bad reasons to do things sometimes. And it's about being mindful of why you want to do something or what's going to be the outcome of it. Okay? But be careful about your actions. All right? speaking is one thing that can cause a minor low vibe. When you actually do low vibe things, you're causing tsunamis of negativity. So just be mindful of that. And I know not everybody can care for everyone in the world, but you can be mindful of your immediate, and that will ripple out to everyone else. You don't have to tend to it. All right? But be careful of your actions, how you're acting, your motivations. Be mindful of what's driving you. Make sure it's something that's doesn't have to be the purest intention in the world, but make sure it's at least decent. Something you can tell your mom, I'm doing this because of this reason. Okay? Love you, Mom. I don't know if you're watching that. And one more thing. I like to call this my one more thing card. It's a 12 card spread that I do, but this will be your extra bonus round. And this talks about personal health. Your physical health is paramount to beginning this walk. The root chakra is all about survival. And if you've got a frail bag of bones you're carrying around, then you're not going to be able to survive all that well. So start taking care of yourself. You don't have to have the perfect diet, but you can be mindful of some of the things that you're exposing your body to. I'm not the healthiest eater, but I eat certain things even if I don't like them because I know they are healthy for the rest of me. And I don't have to like the flavor. I just have to take advantage of the benefits. So mind your physical health, because that affects your mood too. That affects every single element of you, is how you feel about yourself. And if you're not proud, you can think this is great, but if you're not proud of the rest of it either, you're gonna have just as a tough time as somebody who doesn't like their face with a perfect body. All right? So just be mindful of your physical health. Be proud of your image without being narcissistic. So it's okay to like me. I like how I dress. I like to look nice, but I'm not standing in the mirror for hours trying to make sure every single hair is where it's supposed to be. I'm not sitting there when hair number 739 gets out of place trying to put it back. I'm not constantly trying to fix my makeup. Or, you know, a lot of you beautiful girls out there, I wish you wouldn't wear makeup because you're so much more beautiful without it. Jeez. But, you know, makeup is good too. Sometimes it enhances the quality of an outfit you're wearing. So I can appreciate makeup in certain situations. But for the most part, a lot of y'all women out there are too damn beautiful to be covering that up. All right? That's just my personal opinion. But I don't want to take this one for too long. We're almost at 40 minutes. But I thank you guys for spending time with me. Once again, my name is, the universe gave me the name Wow. So don't wonder too hard where that comes from. But I'll try to be as consistent as I can with these videos. But in the meantime, and until the next time we speak, you can go and check out one of my other videos. I do have chakra clearing videos as well. I'm not sure about offering any other services right now because I don't really know how. I'm such a newbie to it. But I look forward to hearing from you guys. Leave comments, anything, even if it's negative. I'll take that honest critique and either throw it away or consider it. But I thank you guys. I love you. Till next time. Turtle Gang.